Okay, so it's 6:35. 5 minutes delay, but we have to wait for everybody to come. I think we still have a few more people coming, maybe. Let's see. Yes. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for accepting uh, Mr. Lal's invitation. Actually, it's nice to see that he has such good friends who really support him. Okay, so some of you already came in on Monday, and I hope you enjoyed our therapeutic yoga session for you. Or was it joint pain? Yes. Yes. It was, yes. So just to welcome you all, my name is Veena Dansingani, and we are running this 21 days initiative, which is called Therapeutic Yoga, counting down towards International Yoga Day, which is happening on the 21st of June, as you all know. This year is a very special year, as we know, because we have coronavirus with us. So people are not gathering. Normally, there's something happening with the Indian consulate, and we've got sessions happening in Hong Kong. So this time, just to make it really, we make sure that we continue to celebrate and bring the awareness with people, not only locally, but now we are also available so much online, Zoom. Everybody's on Zoom, and it makes it so easy, not only for us to sort of spread our word locally, but even internationally. So today's actually day 11 already, and today we're going to be having a Q&A session with Dr. Sanjay Nagarkar, okay? And it's going to be on the topic of lung health, joint health, heart health, digestive health, inflammation. So all these are very sort of common issues that a lot of people face, or you might even be knowing people in your lives, your family members, friends who have something or the other that they're dealing with, right? So it's a great opportunity here today to have a Q&A session. If you have any questions you would like to ask Dr. Sanjay, feel free, because he's going to be really making you understand health from a very scientific perspective. Okay? So people generally say, this is good for you, or this is good for you. But why is it good for you? Just don't follow things blindly, but you really understand scientifically how does this particular nutrient or this way of following things help me really solve my problem. Okay? Just want to share a bit about Dr. Sanjay. Dr. Sanjay is a PhD from the Hong Kong University. He's a microbiologist. So he's been involved in many beautiful projects in Hong Kong and globally as well. Some of them, which would be like, for example, 360. Do you know the organic supermarket that was first started, I think, about 10 years ago at the Landmark? Right? And then now we have one of the elements. So he has worked on projects like that, and he's worked on projects like the marketplace, Starbucks. It's basically been his brainchild. Okay, and he was also the one who has been a pioneer to really start off the wellness industry and the organic industry in Hong Kong. When he started 30 years ago, people did not believe him that it's going to become such a booming industry now. Over the last 5 years, we've suddenly been seeing a boom of, organic stores, health stores, this store. But he was only talking about it 30 years ago, when people actually thought he was crazy. They didn't believe that was going to be the vision of the future. So as you can see, he's a visionary. So he knows what the upcoming trends are. If you're talking now, he knows 20 years, 30 years down the line what's going to happen. So it's not that there's magic in it, it's using science, to understand. There's a lot of research that they have done, that they're doing, which we common people do not know. They put a lot of hard work in their labs, doing research. They already know many things which many of us yet possibly will only hear 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. So we are very, very happy to have him here. Please do take full advantage of this. Just to let you know, I'm very lucky and fortunate to have him as my mentor. He's been working very, very closely with me helping me build up my brand, uh, from the concept to the design to how do you sort of, market this, how do you build the brand, how do you make it a value-based business, right? So what makes Naveda very, very unique is that we are a value-based business. As we know that there are three major global crises happening right now. One is the health crisis. You can see around you there are large, especially recently coronavirus, and so many other things like cancer, depression, anxiety, Parkinsons. You name it. There are so many diseases that are not only attacking people who are senior citizens, but it's happening much, much earlier than expected. So we want to know why. Why it's happening. Second is the environment. You can see what's happening in the environment as well. Global warming, droughts, bushfires. There's so much sort of like imbalances in the environment as well. And also social issues, poverty, so much poverty, social disparity all around us. So Naveda Wellness has been designed in a very integral manner where all these three global crises are addressed. So we really empower people to become conscious consumers through seminars like these. We educate our friends, our family members, our clients, and we really empower them to take on a paradigm shift in the way they're consuming. Okay? From everything from a body, mind, spirit, not only that, from a global perspective. Making sure that you address your health, the environment, and also social issues. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Sanjay to me.
Thanks, Veena, for a nice and long introduction. But I simplify this here. I live in Hong Kong for the last 30 years. And I'm not a scientist by position or by job. So there is a certain things which I like to share with you, like fortunate enough to get like good people in life, because that's also mean a lot. Like during the journey of our life, we meet some good people and they inspire you a lot in your life, right? So my real mentor, Dr. Sanjay Nagarkar. Dr. Sanjay Nagarkar, he passed away in 2006, and the world knows him for two things. One, he discovered the genetic code, how our body is designed, and second is he invented insulin. So all the people in the world today, those who are diabetic and surviving because of him. Okay, so I from a very beginning I got like this opportunity, and then his other work for which Dr. Khurana, Hargobind Khurana, everyone heard, he got a Nobel Prize in '68. So I'm fortunate enough to be a part of that, like a very high-end visionary scientist, which work and think very differently from the normal people, right? So that is why just before the seminar start, I was trying to talk like a little bit, and I always give you this simple trick in life, right? If you want to be happy, just remove the word success from your life and never think about the word success. Because if you delete success from your mind, you will never think about failure. Because failure is a representation of not doing something successfully, right? So when the success do not exist, the failures will not exist, right? Many of you may be attending a lot of like spiritual thing or a lot of lesson and all those kind of things. Life is nothing, but it's a journey. So far we take like a life as a journey or as an experience. Different people have different experience and different people have different path. And you accept what is old for you and you live your life, whatever came in your way by accepting it, the whole fight of success and failure will disappear from the life. So suddenly, imagine that if this is gone, how big population in the world become stress-free, right? One of the stress is I'm not successful and my colleague is like doing better, right? So the comparison. You started having a good life the day you stop comparing with anyone. all of us, we are unique person. We have like a lot of our things to offer, other people cannot. So the logic here is no one is like big, no one is small, everyone is unique, right? And we all contribute something, some or other way into the society, right? Even we don't know, but we do, right? That's the playing with the word. So what we say before we go into the health, one of the very important topic about the health is if you know how to tame your brain, okay? Yeah, I mean, train your taming, right? Yeah. So,
which is not easy.
yeah, which is not easy. And why it is not easy, that I will also touch a little bit about it, right? So the thing is, once you train your brain or tame your brain, it means like you are consciously giving instruction to your brain what you want to do in your life. But today what is happening, we are not giving instruction to our brain. Our brain is giving instruction to us what we need to do, right? So this physical body is basically the slave of our brain, whatever is designed in that way. So as a physical body, what you do every day, it's not you are doing, it's your brain is asking you to do, right? So the moment we have control, we reverse this whole process, right? And we have control over our brain, then suddenly we will avoid many things in our life which we unnecessarily do every day, right? So one of the very big debate in the world is work-life balance, right? Think about certain, like, I start slowly hypothetically. Why I want to say this, I come from a means at your age group, many of you heard about Sarabhai Chemicals in India. That's my father's company. I came from a very powerful, like, family background. Okay, I have seen billions of dollars as I born, right? So money never inspired me or something like that. That's the character, right? Is money is not everything. So this is the first thing one has to understand, that money is one of the culprits. It's not everything. This life is beautiful. There's so many things in this world to do, right? So there are certain things my father taught me at a very young age, right? And I adopt that. And I never worked more than 4 hours a day for last 15 years. Okay, but I have increased my productivity in such a way that I maybe work better than everyone who worked 10 hours a day. So the person who produced some work in 2-3 days, I'm able to produce in 4 hours or 3 hours. So it's more about productivity of the work rather than the length of the time you are working. So that's what it is. Like when you focus today, one topic is learning about the brain. When you start learning about your brain, you will be amazed like how powerful our brain is, right? We always say like we use only 2% or 3% of our brain and rest is like unused. So that's what it's all about. The moment we learn more about our brain, you will be surprised to see that what else you can do in your life. So this is one of my examples. I didn't have much fascination with money, but I have a lot of fascination with the science and technology. So I have created more than 250 different type of formulation in terms of the preventive healthcare supplementation or other kind of nutrient. And if I put all together the market value, maybe over $2-3 billion product are selling. That's my win, right? You have 24 hours, I have 24 hours, right? You may have materialistic many things which I don't have, and I have many things which you don't have, right? This is one of the, like, see, we go and listen to the gurus, and gurus give like very nice about like this Ramchandraji is like that and this and that, and talk very nicely, but talk something very practical, that it's all here. You have something which I don't have, I have something which you don't have. No one in this planet is equal. But what is equal? That 24 hours you also have, I also have 24 hours. Now the idea is how you live your life within that 24 hours is your wealth, right? So if I'm living this 24 hours and see like I born as a human being, right? And utilizing that 24 hours, I'm the richest person on this planet, right? So illusion have to understand this world is running with the illusion, because after a certain time period, that thing is only illusion, like I have this much asset. But you cannot use your asset. Think about it, right? That's where the work-life balance comes. So this is a new theory. Whatever the old thing is gone, is there. Now the new world is all about, are you living your life with fulfillment? This is a question to be asked, right? You born as a human being, are you using your 24 hours living a life, or you are very busy of doing your job and still earning money? Because why we earn money? In order to live the life, right? Because today's topic is a health, where I'm talking about the brain health, I'm talking about the heart health, I'm talking about the digestive health. But one of the things I'm talking about, inflammation. Okay, I'm talking about the vitality, I'm talking about the energy. So there's a certain things I'm talking about which people need to understand, right? So the word called surrendering. Okay, I surrender, I enjoy, right? My father taught me that, Sanjay, $2 million throw like that. I can throw, I can turn, I can walk, and I can sleep. Can you? This is a very big health question around the world. See, the whole world is falling sick because we created our brain. You said it's very difficult, right? Because throughout our life, we have created certain kind of relationship with certain things. Till our brain is working, we can't give up, right? But then think about the death. We are helpless. If someone died, we have to accept it and let the person go. So when we accepted death, why we can't accept a different kind of lifestyle? We have to let go certain things at certain age. Life is not all about being perfect, right? Life is all about living through. So when you live, people get inspired, because one of the training from my mentor, why I mentioned about Sarannaran, he told me, Sanjay, your being a scientist will not fulfill unless you create another breed, a next generation of same like-minded scientists. Doesn't matter whatever invention you do or whatever you contribute is your job, but it's still incomplete unless you create the next generation to follow the same kind of mindset. So you plant certain things, right? So that's our job. Like, we all have to create something ourselves and have to give to the next generation so they can create and they can give to someone. That's how we can always preserve the good things. So now what is happening? This is the ideal scenario, right? And if you go to any spiritual talk or anything, indirectly, that's what they are saying, right? Have a satisfaction, have a calm life, have like spiritual. What is the definition of spirituality, right? Exactly what I'm talking about, a detachment. I can define the whole spirituality with one word, is a detachment. That if you lose something, you can go home and sleep, right? That's what, the moment you can do, you can be bigger than any god or any spiritual guru. Even the spiritual guru can't do something like that, right? If they have some kind of talk somewhere I have to give, if they lose, they miss their flight, and if the event didn't take place, they have the emotional reaction, right? So the whole idea is coming down to the emotional reaction. Okay. So we all react. We all react to different things. Now, brain is our command center. So previously what happened 10 years, 15 years back, when we behave, it was considered as a behavioral science, that you have a good behavior, you have a bad behavior, or you are a bad guy, you are a good guy. You know, the good guy, bad guy kinds concept of theory. But now in the science, we have learned it's not about good guy or bad guy. We have certain chemicals released in our brain. Half of the chemicals give the instruction to our body to do the good things. And half of the chemicals is basically take us like in a negative side. So for example, depression, sleep disorder, anxiety, worry, fear. These are all a certain kind of things, okay? Or lethargic, lazy, like many people like they drain out of the energy, right? So these are the negative things, means that chemicals are releasing more in the body as compared to the chemical which make you energetic, happy, positive, like that. So by looking at the people these days, we can say what kind of chemicals are releasing in your body, right? So it is all about chemical now today's time. So there is no room for a psychiatric or a counseling. Previously we said we have to go for counseling. Now with the science we have learned no need for counseling. It's all the chemical disbalance in your brain. Now this disbalance can come from various factors. So one of the factor is your attachment. That is why I started with the detachment, right? So over the time period, you have developed a lot of habits, right? All of us have a lot of habits. Someone like to work, someone like to drink, someone like to play cards, someone like, we all have so many different habits, right? What is the definition of habit? If we don't do that one day, or even few hours, we don't feel good, right? Uncomfortable, right? That's the definition of habit. Now, what is the difference between the habit and addiction? Again, it's a socially created word. If you are doing the brown sugar or drugs and things, you said you are addicted. You are smoking, you are addicted. But if you are sleeping more, people will not say you are addicted to sleep. Or you are lazy, people are not say you are addicted to laziness. So there are certain social words we say you are like, you have developed a habit and you are addicted, but both are the same thing. Means your brain cannot give up if you don't do it and you feel uncomfortable. So we got trapped with our that brain habit. What does that mean? If you do certain thing, brain learn. Brain is very adaptive, very smart. So I will come to a little bit about corona and exactly why we are not able to deal with corona, because the corona's way of working or the brain, it works in the same way. Brain is very dynamic organ in the body. So whatever you do, it learns. And then it allows you to do more and more what you are doing. So that's what called, it's a only dynamic organ inside a body. It's not a static organ. So whatever you will do, you will notice like after a few days, you want to do that thing more. Means you already trained your brain that, okay, this is the thing I like to do it. But what is the science behind it? When you do certain things, a brain like it or you like it, there's a chemical called dopamine. It's very simple, everyone knows about these days, it's there. Your brain releases a dopamine. And dopamine is considered like that when you are doing certain activities, you feel good. So next day, brain need a dopamine. So brain is pushing you, where is my dopamine? Like we eat a food, we get hungry, right? So now you created a food for your brain by doing certain thing. Brain is asking dopamine. So in the morning, if you don't have a dopamine, by 12 o'clock, this don't dopamine, 3 o'clock, no dopamine. Brain started pushing your brain for a dopamine. Even you don't know you started. Over the time period, you kind of the dopamine to our brain. See how beautiful it is. We have devoted again with one word. The whole brain is dopamine. Brain needs dopamine every day. The brain detox, right? So the whole Now you see, every one of you like certain things very much. Means you know maybe say 10 or 20 activities like. You like 5 activities very much. But 15 activities what you do, you have to put somehow to do it like responsibility or like kind of commitment and this and that. You are doing it. You don't have to do it. These are the activities where the brain is not paid to focus. That is why you have to push, right? You are doing something. But today when you are sitting over here, your brain is not paid to focus, right? You are asked to sit over here. But if you relate what I am talking, and your brain can understand, you will come to meet me again. But if the brain do not create that dopamine and doesn't relate with you, then you are not seeing me. So it's not whether you are seeing me again or not. Your dopamine has a brain dopamine. So brain works with dopamine. That's what we have to do. And once you develop certain kind of bad habits can be so many. And if the bad habit release the dopamine, that's when we say what and is very different to come out. So superficially it's your habit. But inside the body, the brain is getting more and more habit. They need more dopamine, more dopamine, more dopamine. It's your brain who is basically driving you. Right? In this scenario, imagine that you have a wonderful dopamine. In this scenario, you have so many good things you are doing. You heard about like let's do exercise, let's do this, let's do that to release the good chemicals and all that. It's not what. So the dopamine, right? So the idea is, if there is like a window is open and someone is throwing the dirt from outside inside, and you are not closing the door and like cleaning the room will never get. So this is a whole kind of idea. In order to keep something, you have to stop something. Unless you stop, you cannot get the full benefit of something. And that is why many people have this complaint that, oh, I changed my lifestyle, I'm doing this and that, and I don't get benefit, I still have that problem. You will have that problem because you didn't deal with your dopamine thing. So your benefit is strong. We develop habits. And if this kind of things is there for very, very long time, so the brain chemical become disbalanced. So now when we enter 50 plus, so this is happening from our childhood. Okay. So some children are very obedient. Some people don't listen. Okay. Some people have like, some students are different, kids are different. But as we get older, you will notice some of you or most of us will notice we are same like the way we were in our childhood. Nothing much change. You really sit down and go back in your life and you will see 60-70% you are same, nothing changed. Only the surrounding and experience around you has changed. You didn't change. But because the surrounding has changed, it doesn't give us a time to realize that we are not changed. We think we change because we are into the new surrounding. So this is another illusion of life, that our surrounding keep changing, we are not changed. So whatever our brain we started the negative things, it's building. So when we enter into this age, these are the three major things. The first one is start with dementia. Okay, so before dementia, we call it mental fog. Many of you remember or an experience, everyone experienced that sometimes you want to remember something, it's just gone. You just can't remember. And then you have to put a lot of effort, and doesn't matter how much effort, it doesn't come back. You have to leave. And then 3-4 days later, you are doing something and suddenly you remember that, right? That's we call mental fog. This is the very first sign of your brain having a disbalance in chemicals. Very first sign, people ignore it. People think, oh, my memory, casual talk is my memory is not working or something like that. But it's a serious indication in coming days. When this thing becomes a little bit more serious, that's where we have, it's called dementia. So dementia is a short-term memory loss. Means you will remember what you have done in your childhood, but you will not remember what you have done just now or yesterday, right? That's the dementia. So you can remember so many old stuff. So that is the dementia you have to understand. So that is all brain has a system, it works in that way, and people don't realize this. Because certain things started with the chemical disbalance, but the chemical disbalance over the time become like a cell damage. So as we get old, our cell started getting damaged. And when the cell get damaged, it's irreversible. It's only one direction. So there is no treatment of dementia. Always have to remember that there's no treatment of dementia. No doctor can treat dementia. Dementia can be stopped before it happens. And it gives you the indication when you having this kind of memory like fog kind of things. Like it's an indication to you that the next is dementia. Now, the similar line to dementia is the another one is Alzheimer's. That's the ultimate. Then the new memory and the old memory, you forgot everything. You don't know who you are. You cannot recognize your own people. That's the Alzheimer's. But the pathway is one linear direction. And I start with a simple thing is called habit and dopamine. Right? So this is the thing. Never do one thing overdose in your life. If you do one thing regularly throughout your life, the stage will come in your life where your brain will stop support your body. It's a natural process. It's not very selective to you or me or anyone. It's a natural process, right? Because brain got trained of certain. But by the time you realize this, the brain cell started dying because we have the age. Okay, so I will come to the lifespan also. That before we born, we are decided that what is our life. So we should not be in a confusion like someone can live 90 years, 80 years, 100 years, 60 years, 50 years. Many people die at the age of like 50, 60, 40. Okay, so it's all are pre-decided into our genetic things, right? So it's not like all of us can live the same age. It's a, again, concept, right? But it's biologically designed. So let's stay with the brain health over here. So the Alzheimer's is the next one. But what is the parallel dangerous stuff? So here is slowly dopamine addiction. Going in the same more dopamine. So all your chemical balance is not working properly. So you enter into the mental fog. From mental fog, you enter into dementia and ultimately Alzheimer's. So very few people get into Alzheimer's. Before that, you stop in dementia, right? But if you are senior and if you have a dementia, then your family people have a lot of trouble to manage you. This is, as a senior people, one of our biggest responsibility we should understand. If we want a happy ending in our life, we should avoid dementia. This is a very important responsibility. So be open. If you have this kind of memory loss, please talk to me. Nothing to shy about it. It's a very wonderful thing that you came here today. You're learning this kind of things. People don't talk about this particular topic, and people like a little bit shy about all those kind of things. But memory loss is one of your very nice friend. Okay, is giving you the indication that something is coming on the way, right? Now, parallelly, what happened, which is more dangerous, that's we call Parkinsons. So what is the difference between all this kind of things and Parkinson? In Parkinson, here there is no organ damage. There's a disbalance of the chemical. But in Parkinson, is the organ damage. Means the brain system now is not functioning properly because the message is not getting clear, right? So one of the first sign of the Parkinson, if any one of you having this finger started going like this, okay, you should immediately start taking care of it. That's the very first sign of the Parkinson. Yeah, but that is later. The first thing is that this one. The moment like your index finger, this one, like the small finger started doing a little bit like that, little bit shaky, or you have a little bit weakness of holding certain things. Sometime this particular part, this is a part, right? You feel like a little bit weak, something tingling happened, That's your first indication of the Parkinson. Take it seriously, because if it develops strong, in 10-15 years time period, it make you almost like not able to do anything. You have to depend on another person. So you can reverse it during that time when you have this tremor here. Then the second is like 2-3 finger, and then the hand, and then the whole hand like that, and then the head like that. And this is the one. The second one is we call the baby step. You will see many people walk like this, right? So it means like their brain is not giving them the proper instruction. The instruction part, the command center, has problem now. Okay, so that's we call a degeneration. So as we age, we have to accept it's not a disease, it's a degeneration, and it will happen. We need to understand what is the solution of it. If we focus more into the solution and accept that this will happen, that's where you win the game. It's not about why this happened. This will happen. It can happen to anyone. The more important is, if suppose it's happening, I should follow something consistently from the scientific point of view. So I always say, what we cannot argue, 2 + 2 = 4. If someone will say like, no, it's 4.5, then you end up argument like for whole 1 year, whole your life, no one will reach into the solution because it's 2 + 2 = 4, right? The same in science, what happened, we have a very linear system. But if you try to justify something else left and right, you will never get a solution. It's only will trouble you because you keep finding the solution, and solution will never come to you because you are not understanding the science. But if you understand the science, now you are on a main highway. You can see the changes very quickly within few years time. 2 things you will learn. One, you will learn, okay, I have the organ damage or cell damage, or it's irreversible. Both the things. If it's irreversible, it's very good news. Okay, then change lifestyle and everything, and then you started coming back like that. But even if you have an organ damage, means irreversible, then we say if you understand the science, you can adopt. Okay, what is the meaning of adopt? That is why I started with brain, chemicals, and habits, and dopamine. You started doing something where you shift your dopamine releasing center. Start getting active in certain new activities where brain start feeling good. So it's just like a snake remove their skin, right? And then have a new thing. We cut our nails and all those kind of things. Every cells generate in 21 days. So this is the one of the magical thing I'm telling you, which even doctors sometimes don't understand all this kind of. If you have to combat with your disease, they talk in a very basic term which is called change the lifestyle. It doesn't help you very much to understand, right? You try to say, okay, I'm waking up, I'm sleeping properly, I'm eating properly. No. Change the lifestyle means give the new instruction to your brain. This is the message today to take with you, that you need to be master of your brain. So today, till whatever your brain is learning, you learn to give a new instruction to your brain. The moment this new instruction, at least something you will find out, wow, you feel good. You need to discover yourself. What is the new thing you find? And then you have to sacrifice the old stuff. So the whole game here is, suppose I always discuss with Mr. Lal, like this, okay, I like to play card. So suppose something happened, you have to give playing card. That's the sacrifice, because the playing card is creating a lot of dopamine. But if you have to deal with your life, you have to find something new, maybe going out or doing something strange. We don't know what is that. And then suddenly brain will say, oh, no, I don't want to play card. I want to do this. There will be automatically internal switch in your behavior. You don't have to do anything. Your job is very simple. You get a 24 hours. Dedicate your 1 to 2 hours to do something new. Your brain will learn itself. The only thing what I'm asking you, you give 1 hour to do something new which you never did before in your life. Right? So when you do something new in your life, right? Means logic what is here is very interesting. That choose something which you never did in your life before. And that's what your new activity. Your brain, that's where, again, you become a child. Because your brain first time will learn about it. And the brain will come up with a full efficiency. Brain will support that activity of you. Regardless of the age. Yeah, regardless of your age, right? So it's a mechanism of the brain. It's so beautiful, right? That's how most of the people, what they do. There's a beautiful planning of the life, which I also adopted, okay? And what is the planning of life? Don't learn and do everything in your young age. Because if you have done everything in your young age, rest of the life, you're just repeating it, right? So you have to plan your life. Say, I just want to give you some example of my life. I decided I will learn swimming at the age of 40. Okay. Deliberately, I didn't learn to swim before 40. Okay. I decided I will learn to tie my knot at the age of 45. I will learn driving at 30. I will learn this thing at 50. Your whole life is always your things are young. Why we are not young? Because we have done everything. There's nothing new to explore in your life. There's no excitement left, right? You use all your resources. Now, brain has no things to experience something new, right? So that's what it is. Give your brain a complete new experience, and believe me, you'll feel like it's a magic. Initially, you will not like it. Why you will not like it? Because brain will not get dopamine from it. So brain will discourage you not to do it. But then you have to be mindful to do it. But when you do it a couple of times, the moment brain get dopamine, you will do it again.
Whether it's something good to do or something bad to do.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's the whole thing. See, that is why good and bad is a social definition. Here we are talking about the biology. Okay, this is the thing. That's where the whole world got trapped, right? We decided good and bad, all the word and everything based on our social design. But our body is not designed socially. Our body is a biology, it's a science, right? So I hope this part is very clear, right? Right? So exactly. So you got a weapon today, right? Yeah. So do something new in your life which you never did before. Even if you feel bored, don't worry. Keep doing it. You will see after 21 days. So that's a magic number of 21 days. Suddenly you will start liking of doing this. It means like now you give your brain, I have to do more work.
Like a challenge.
A challenge word you can say like that. Yes, that's what people are saying. Yeah. 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 So the idea is like doing something new. Yeah. So that's the brain. And that's the chemical. So there's a one word we say. Okay. So the interesting point is, right? There's a word we call dopamine detox. So anyone, you have a lot of dopamine from different things. So we have a technology, I can suck, vacuum clean all your dopamine out, so make like your brain like clean. So this is a technique like what we use in the science. We clean your brain. We don't treat your body, we clean your brain. So that we know where is the dopamine, and dopamine is gone. So the moment dopamine is gone, all this good chemical which called the serotonin and oxytocin and so many different kind of things, now they got a space. So suppose like we have only this much space in this room, and this whole space is occupied by dopamine. And then serotonin is coming. Serotonin is not getting chance to where to adjust. So such a beautiful thing which can give you the new experience of life, serotonin, right, has no place because the place is occupied by the dopamine. But dopamine is a trick because it's called the pleasure chemical, right? So that's where the catch is. So pleasure means you like to do something good. You like to, and you repeat it. And that's where it's a vicious cycle in life. It's a trap. It's a trap of your life. One single chemical is controlling all your life.
Like Mr. Lal wants to play cards every day.
Or
Only Mr. Lal?
yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. Okay. So maybe Mr. Lal will like to say like, okay, we'll cross the harbor. Take a challenge, right? So next day you have like in the South China Morning Post, like, okay, the 75 plus men like cross the Victoria Harbor. The whole world will come to know about you. The only difference is like you did something new, right? Exactly, right? So that's what it is. Like challenge is all about something like giving you. The moment is that, okay, so what we need to understand the design of the human body. The human body designed in such a way that it designed to never get old. We get old because of our lack of understanding of our body design. We biologically get old. We have a life, we have a childhood, we have a youth, we have like ages spreading and then old age and then we die, right? But the energy, efficiency, excitement, this is there. You can be 18 years old child. You can be teen. You can be like primary school kid. Because brain has that ability to flexible and all the time. So why we think we are senior citizen? Because you decided that in your brain, right? Because it's society is talking about it. So what is the biggest culprit? The society. The word, what people are talking about. So somehow we have to create a kind of a barrier around us. We don't have to listen the word which society has created. So if we believe in the biology, the creation, now I always talk something very interesting here. Why you have two eyes? Have you ever asked question? I also have two eyes. Isn't it the magic? Right?
Yeah.
Very big magic. We all have a two eyes, right? But we never say, wow, like, how come we are in the room like everyone have a two eyes, right? See? We never ask this question. Why? Because we have taken it granted. See, that's what it is. The human birth itself is a miracle. This planet is a miracle. Life is a miracle. Death is a miracle. Everything is a miracle. But we have a tendency that what we see, we just take it as it is. It's normal. Don't you want to see someone with a 3 eyes or 2 noses? Right? Why it is not there? No, that is what I'm saying. Think about this question. There's another question. Right now, the earth is round, right? We are sitting like this. If we make a hole, where we are going other side? Right? Somewhere like in Russia or Europe or whatever, like exactly, right? So the people, those who are rare, they are upside down, right? That's how we have to think about. Like we don't think. Another thought, just to put your brain. Why you have a mango in the mango tree? Why don't you get an orange in the mango tree? No, that's why. That's the question itself, right? See, when you challenge something which is real, that we have a two eyes, I asking the question, because we see that, we have taken it. We never ask the question. Take it for granted. Yeah, take it for granted. Right? So mango, okay, mango. We never ask like, okay, mango tree will give mango. Lemon tree will give lemon. Everything is fixed, right? Now, the power of the nature. We all born from a one tiny sperm and one tiny egg. We even can't see it. Now, for a moment, forget about this human body, what we have here, right? Because this body we can explain like we have two eyes, one nose, and this and that, and all those kind of things. Look at the sperm. Can you look like, oh, this is my liver, this is my brain, this is my leg, this is my knee? No way. Right? That's the thing, like we scientists think. It means our body and the whole universe is coded, is a pre-coded, is well designed. And this design is packed inside a sperm or egg for us, and for the plant is inside a seed. How one seed, like you say, mango seed, you put like that, looking at the seed can say like, okay, the tree will come up and the branch will come up, the leaf will come and the mango will come. Seed will not tell you. Seed will not tell you, right? So it is coded. So we all are coded. This whole universe is coded. That's what we have to understand. So the design is so powerful that once we unlock that design and you understand that design, then you are the master of your life. Spiritual gurus are no one. Meditation is nothing. It's all about bring you back to concentrate in your inner way so you can look into your mind, right? I never prefer meditation. Meditation makes you sleep. For me, it's a relaxation. This is more important what I'm saying today to you more than a meditation. At least it is giving you the tool. You can live mindful, consciously. That what you have learned today, that you have to do something new, right? My life is very exciting because I left certain part, still I have to travel. I have a lot of pending list to do. And if I die, doesn't matter. Accept it, it's gone. Because I'm not there to regret, right? I'm gone. But the life is like, still there keep certain things to do. So, not having a monotonous life.
That's the name of the game, monotonous life.
Right?
That puts you down.
So now, imagine that I wear the saffron kurta and I put the mala. And I change this talk in a very nice spiritual language. Isn't it? I became a guru.
And you will have so many followers.
Exactly, right? That's what it is all about.
That's right.
I have discussion with a lot of very, very high spiritual gurus. They sit and listen to me hours and hours. Because I'm decoding the science for them. And why I'm able to do that? Thanks to my mentor, because I'm in a group of the scientists who are visionary scientists and who has decoded the thing. So insulin is one of them. So the idea is we ask questions. Why body? Why this way? All those kinds. So now you say, by explaining the brain, very simply what I explained to you. Brain is a command center and your certain bad habits is creating dopamine and you can't come out of it. So there is no room for other good chemicals to go even though you would do exercise and all those kind of things. Right? So your room is occupied. So you have to clean your room. And if you don't clean your room, that's where you get anxiety, you get depression, you get all this bad. And that is the first line is mental fog, dementia, okay, Alzheimer's. The other line here is Parkinson. But the Parkinson people must be noticed in their life, they must be exposed somewhere in their life, either certain kind of drug or certain kind of gases. Because it's a neurological damage. sometime when you are 40 to 50 years old. Parkinson doesn't happen like that. It takes like 10, 15, 20 years of manifestation to appear.
What causes it?
The nerve damage. Nerve damage or brain cell damage, exposure to certain kind of medication or certain kind of gases. Because there are some suppose textile industry, okay, or you are doing the plastic business. So suppose you are surrounded by, you have a go down and you have a lot of these plastics, TVs and all those kind of things. They release a lot of bad chemicals. Yeah, so there is the things like that. Gas means not the gas. If this is there, this is there, this is there, this all are releasing certain things in this room. Okay, so now we know we have a list of the items like, okay, these are the things which create a certain kind of damage. So there's another list. Some other time we can talk about like a list of the things which do the brain damage.
How to take care of Parkinson's? You said we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Like today, I try to establish the main point is like where we are doing wrong. So I explain in a very simple way. We do so many things every day. So, okay. So here is a one very good clue, right? Which I always do that. And you will see like I can prove at the end of the day that different kind of thinking can save you. So suppose I ask you, tell me your one biggest strength. So who want to answer me? Positive. Yes, sir.
My wife.
I was going to say you.
Okay. Yeah. Strength, right? Okay.
My love to the people.
Okay.
My love to you.
Okay. Okay. I want to answer from everyone. Like, please answer me. This is a very interesting thing I'm going to demonstrate you today. Yes, sir. Say something which you feel this is your strength.
Prayer.
Okay. Sir.
Smile. My children. My family and my grandchildren.
Sir. Manji. Say something. Okay. Okay. Like that. You see. So what happened here? Everyone gave a positive answer. Now my answer is very different. If someone asks me the same question, my answer is, I know all my weaknesses. That's my greatest strength. Right? My greatest strength is I know all my weaknesses. How it is helping me? It helped me every day not to repeat my mistake.
That's a good one.
Well, that's the life. You can survive and win your life by having one single point. Don't look the positive way. Everyone has something to do. Look into your mistakes and be aware about your mistake and make sure that I do not repeat that mistake every day.
Absolutely true.
Every person repeating the mistake throughout our life. Why? Because we don't focus on that area. That's the whole mind game. Right? See, beautiful stuff. And if you, honestly, I'm telling you, if you follow me, again, I'm saying I wear the saffron and the mala and I'm a good guru. Okay? Because these are practical things in life. Science is very practical. Please adopt this procedure from today onward and you will see the magic. Go and write down 10 of your weaknesses. And suddenly, you know what is the magic is going to happen? You say, no, 10, it's not enough. I have 20, I have 30, I have 40, I have 50. But then you go to the next thing. You say, how many you are repeating every day? And then you go to the next layer. How many of you are repeating for how many years? That's where the trap. This is the another trap, right? So this is the brain. So once you got brain in trap, you are not able to free to live your life. Okay, so that's the brain health. Yeah, clear? Yeah. Now I associate this very quickly, rest of the body. Okay, so one is the digestion system. How many of you heard about the leaky gut? Leaky gut. Okay. So what happened, like our perception is what? We have this food and we have the esophagus, the stomach and intestine and everything like that, right? And we have this perception like whatever we are eating is going through that, and what is need to be absorbed, it absorbed, right? Leakage means, okay, say for example, this room, there is a leakage. So the water falling there is coming from here, right? There's no leakage in this room. So it's clean. So in our organ, there's a lot of area which is empty area, right? So if you look our body, we have a lot of empty area. So leaky gut means we think our gut is like straightforward, but it has a lot of damages inside, which we never come to know. So the good gut, the role of the good intestine is whenever we eat good, it only take the good stuff and give to the body. Same like brain. Body is designed so well that doesn't matter how bad food you eat. If your digestion is very good, it has a priority. That body will take only the good items and put into your blood first. Bad items will not go inside. But when you have a damage, the bad items will go first with the good item, and again the good item get lost. So you are eating salad or you are eating very healthy and you think like, wow, I'm eating so good, but it's not working for me. Very simple is that you are eating and you are giving the false signal to your brain that you are eating good. But because your gut is not good, it is not designed, it damaged, it can take all the bad stuff inside. So all the bad things is also going into your blood and into your stomach. And when this keep things happening very long, that's why people complain, I have a bloating, I have an ache, I have a gas, I have like so many complications, right? So the complication is all about your organ got damage. So same like brain, in brain we have a dopamine is a chemical. Here we have a physical damage. Okay, so physical damage, what happens? So then a lot of things can be leaked out. So whatever we don't want, a lot of unwanted stuff is going into our blood on daily basis. And we never come to know about it. Why we don't come to about it? After food, we have a gas. Or we have a little bit. So, oh, churan kha lete hain, ye kha lete, wo kha lete. Like that, we combat. So we combat such a serious stuff by such a simple solutions. But the damage is there, right? So any person who has a bloating, burping, uncomfortable indigestion, make sure that you look into your gut and it should not be leaky gut. There is some damage.
It's exactly what you say.
Okay.
This is happening with me now.
Okay.
I mean, that's about a week, 10 days, 20 days, it started.
Yeah.
It's like a burping.
Okay.
It's like gas coming out. Cannot sleep, cannot walk. Exactly what is happening.
Okay, so answer is like this. So if we have a water, okay, so we eat, say for example, dal chawal or dal roti. So body knows like dal roti kya gas karegi, so everyone eat it like that. But some people have gas and they are in trouble. So it's not like dal chawal or dal roti. उसके साथ जो गंदे केमिकल्स भी हैं वो भी गट में अंदर जा रहे हैं ना. तो जो चीज आपको नहीं मिलानी थी, किचन में तो आपने दाल चावल मिलाया, उसमें नमक मिलाया, हल्दी मिलाया, लेकिन जो शरीर के अंदर है उसमें ये केमिकल भी आ गया, वो भी आ गया, सब आ गया, वो आपका दाल दाल नहीं रहेगी. That is bloating.
So there is a,
Yeah, ये जो digestive discomfort है, it's like that. Okay.
so to cure that, do we need certain type of Ayurvedic medication?
सर उसमें भी बात नहीं. पहले क्या होता है कि पहले समझना है डायग्नोसिस, पहले समझना है प्रॉब्लम, then you will come to the solution. Because like what happened, like a good diagnosis start with the like good solution is start with the good diagnosis. So we have to understand where we are going wrong. So this is about our digestion. Now, one of the things अभी कोरोना में आपने सुना होगा, anti-inflammatory. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory and all, very good for the body and all those kind of things, right? So the third most important thing today you have to learn about inflammation. Inflammation is the word. It is your friend and it is your enemy also. Okay. There are two kinds of inflammation. One is acute, means कुछ दिन के लिए हुआ और ठीक हो गया. और यदि लंबा चला तो वो is not good. So what is the definition of inflammation? That whenever you have the injury to your tissue, so one cell is the cell, when so many cells together, it's called tissue. So if there is any injury to the tissue, whether it is a chemical injury, the burn or bacteria or infection or anything, right? So suddenly what happened, the blood vessel near become dilated. Okay. And then there's a whole chemical process which I don't have to explain to you. The blood vessel become dilated, a lot of blood flow there, and then the blood vessel create a pores inside. So the white blood cell from the blood vessel leave the blood vessels and come out and attack all those like damaged tissues and do the repairing. And for that, a certain kind of chemical reaction, जिस किसी को allergy होता है, you must have heard about histamine. There's a lot of things antihistamine, right? So histamine, what is allergy? Allergy is inflammation. Okay. It's the inflammation of the skin, inflammation of the tissue. Something goes wrong. So when inflammation happens, the histamine goes very high. So histamine creates a signal to the blood vessel that I need the red blood cell. So the whole body is a communication, because red blood cell is inside the blood vessels. Blood is not everywhere. It is only inside the blood vessel. Tissue, they are not reaching the blood, right? They are reaching through the capillaries. So when the histamine increase, they tell the blood cell that I need a blood cell, white blood one. So that they become the pore and the white blood cells go out and it started damaging or repairing the things. Now, this is good. Okay. So because we have a pores in a blood vessels, so what is happening? The blood is basically nothing. It's a liquid. We call it plasma, right? And in plasma, we have a lot of like red blood cells and all those kind of things. So imagine that when we have a pore, so the plasma is leaking out. So suppose like मेरे को हाथ में यहाँ पे inflammation हो गया, and I have a blood vessel over here. So tissue need to repair. So blood vessel open up, red blood cell is going, but उसके साथ साथ plasma is also coming out. So in this area, there's a lot of fluid accumulation. Because of that fluid, it's called swelling. So swelling is the first indication that you have an inflammation. But today I'm telling you why the swelling. Swelling is nothing but your blood is open up and the liquid of the blood is moved to your tissue, and that it's like you have a more blood, more water here, not a blood, right? That's the first thing. Then what happened? We have a lot of like pain nerves. So when there's a lot of water there, they push the organ over here, which push the nerve, the pain nerve. And that's where you get the sensation in your brain, you get a pain, right? So whenever आपको चोट लगती, inflammation होता है, so first thing you get a swelling, second thing you get a pain, right? Because of this particular process. What is the third thing you get? You get a redness, reddish. Why reddish? Because a lot of blood flow start happening in that area. More blood is coming. And because of that, you get it. But then again, you have some high temperature also. Fever में temperature क्यों होता है? Because when the blood is flowing very fast, blood has a 36.8 degree Fahrenheit, that the Celsius, the temperature. So when the lot of blood is flowing, suddenly the area's temperature rises up. Okay. So that's right. Now you see that you have a high blood flow. You have a lot of like a liquid, blood liquid accumulated. You have a pain. So everything is swollen. So suppose if you have here, you have here, what is the next thing it does? It stops the joint movement. So a lot of people, you have a joint movement means you have an inflammation on that near the joint. So it's not that joint is not moving. The surrounding area is so tight, you have no room to move your any joint or any finger. So the moment you do, you have pain. Right? So it's a friendly process. Means anything goes wrong, so body has a system, it will want to correct it. But then when it is not working properly, the immune system go wrong. So the immune system cannot recognize between the damaged cell and the original cell. So at one stage, because of this inflammation, the immune system started damaging our actual normal cell. And the moment the actual normal cells start damaging, that's where it called disease. Right? So this is a very simple concept of the disease. Disease do not appear from somewhere magically. Before disease happens, you get an indication as an inflammation. And if the inflammation is not correcting, so during the inflammation, you get the swelling. If you don't get a swelling, you get a pain. If you don't get a pain, you get a redness. You have a lot of symptoms. It's your friend. So when you get a pain, don't worry. Pay attention. Right? When you pay attention, you know something is wrong there and you monitor it. But the moment you leave it alone, if it change from that correction process to the self-destructing process. Because if the inflammation goes long, immune system will start damaging our own cell. So suppose kidney has inflammation. So the immune cell started damaging our own kidney. And we even don't know, one day we find out like, wow, my kidney is not working. Heart cell, oh, my heart is not working. Liver cirrhosis, oh, liver is not working. So all the disease is nothing, but is the wrong way your immune system is damaging your organ. Exactly, that's what it is. So you see how beautiful it is. Immune system, we think like, wow, this is to save the body. No. Immune system has some kind of monitoring role that you need to monitor your immune system. That immune system should never destroy your healthy cell. The moment you get little bit indication that it is destroying my normal cell, because that's what the disease is all about, right? So that's called the inflammation. So inflammation is extremely important subject to understand. So 3 key topics I said: brain, leaky gut, inflammation. If you know these 3 things, I can assure you, you will be a very healthy person. Okay, that's like that. I would say like, you see, it's just like as healthy as we are created.
You know why I felt like you're standing for 1 hour? And I mean, we can't do that. I don't think any of us.
I'm sorry,
can do
he stands for 9 hours.
There you go. That is a sign that you're healthy.
Thank you very much.
Am I right, guys?
Thank you very much. But see, this is the thing. So with inflammation, we add 2 more things, what we call the vitality and energy. Right? So these are all connected. So one of the things at your age, what happened? The energy drained down. So this is the example. I can stand 2 hours, 3 hours. Someone can stand only 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you want to sit. Because you will feel pressure either on your organ or you will feel the tiredness. So what is the tiredness? Is draining out the energy system. Okay. So if you connect all this kind of things, if you don't have an inflammation, if you don't have too much dopamine, if you don't have a leaky gut, okay, you cannot get tired. That's the whole thing, because whatever the nutrition you are taking is going exactly working for your body.
right? But if there is a leakage, you think you are eating, but then the whole thing is not getting in your system. So system is like not utilizing. So you are a human body which should run with the 100% of capacity, but because of this certain problem, maybe your body is running with 30% efficiency, you're running with 60%, you're with like 20%, someone's like that. Is a variation kind of thing. So though we look physically same, but our optimal efficiency is not the same. Okay. That is why we need to focus very much what we are eating. Because we have to make sure whatever eating, it's going into our body to utilize it. Second, our addiction or habit, dopamine. Okay, it is very important. Some people work very long hours. No, very dangerous at this age. Why? Because then brain will ask you to work again. And when you work again, what you need? You need sugar. You see, this is the thing. If you work longer hours, the only thing what your brain needs is sugar. And when you take more sugar, suddenly again you are developing a load on your pancreas. It's all connected. So basically, sugar is considered as like, it's one of the deadliest stuff for the body. No, that is the imbalancing of your pancreatic system. So the way your brain start dysfunctioning, same way the pancreas start dysfunctioning. So when the pancreas start dysfunctioning, then all your sugar metabolism change. It's not your body can produce sugar. So in that token, I can say, like, always remember there are two kinds of nutrients. We call it essential nutrient and non-essential nutrient. Essential nutrient means our body cannot make, so we have to take it from outside. And non-essential nutrient means our body can make. So even we don't take, our body can make. So there are certain proteins and fat our body cannot make. So we have to. But vitamin D3, you sit in the sunlight and the body can make it, right? So we don't have to take it. That is another thing has to learn kind of thing. So I will stay like on a basic. We don't want to put too much pressure on your mind. So whatever you can understand nicely, I would want to stay over there. So that's the. Now, another very important thing I want to add into it. How many of you have heard macular degeneration or glaucoma? Yeah. Yeah.
She has.
Okay. All right. So I have seen like some kind of basic symptoms kind of thing. If you have a glaucoma, then you need to watch your life more carefully because the degeneration rate is faster. Okay. So degeneration rate, when it is faster, then it's irreversible. That you have to understand. So that's the first realization. So glaucoma is a kind of like a degeneration of the eye, and it leads to the blindness. Okay, there's no cure about it because it's not a disease. It's an age-related degeneration. So one of the things you have to notice this, because these days we have a lot of like phones, TVs, and all those kind of things. There's a lot of extra stress on our eye. But if you have any blurred vision kind of things, or if you see the black hollow kind of things, you reduce your exposure to that, because at this age, there's no solution. Like means it's one-way traffic.
No cure.
Yeah, no cure. It's like because it's a part of aging. It's called the macular degeneration. A common name called glaucoma. And if you talk among the people, you will find many people are suffering from glaucoma. Okay.
The eye pressure is under control with drops of medical drops into the eye. Keep it with between 16 and 20.
No, see, this is the thing. What happened like, doctors love to confuse you. Okay, so now you are talking technically 60 to 80. So if you, yeah, so if you talk this language to some layman, like I have this problem, they will not understand. So doctor has created a language for you that only you understand and he understands.
That, I mean, eye pressure.
That's what it is. In a normal life, you don't need to learn about your eye pressure. It's a scientific thing. It's our area.
In the normal.
We never talk this to the patient or the people, right? What do we talk to the patient? What I'm talking to you, like you need to understand, like more like in a storytelling manner. The moment you go technical, again you started doing the wrong thing, because then the curiosity comes in. You go into the Google, you started learning so many things. You try this, you try this, you try this, you try this. So again, this vicious cycle starts, right? But when you understand only one fact, right? As I said, acceptance. If there is something and it is diagnosis glaucoma, then we know like, okay, this is the degeneration. So the focus has to be how to reduce the degeneration. So everything, as I said, why I mentioned about the gut, it's a nutrition which is coming inside the body, right? Every organ needs some nutrition. So here is answer your answer, sir. That brain needs certain nutrition. We call it adaptogens. Your heart needs some nutrition. It's called the heart nutrition. Liver needs some. So what is the old nutrition science? It's called the balanced diet. You eat this much protein, this much carbohydrate, this much mineral, vitamin. But this is not helping you like, hey, I want to make my liver better. What should I eat? I want to make my brain better. What should I eat? This is the language missing, and this is the new science. In new science, we know that for brain, if you really want to sharpen it, you need a different kind of nutrient. If you want to make your heart, it's different kind of nutrient. So like, just give you the example, heart. 3 nutrients. CoQ10. You heard about the enzyme Q10. Okay, CoQ10 is like you get everywhere. Then the other thing is lycopene. And third is omega-369, right? These are the 3 combinations. If everyone has that, your heart will work properly. Now, in a heart, I want to say one more thing. Anyone understand what is the difference between the heart attack and the cardiac arrest? Heart attack and the cardiac arrest. Yeah, but like any difference, you know? Most of the people, they die because of the cardiac arrest, not the heart attack.
Yes.
No, that's a different thing. The meaning here, it is a function of the heart. That heart has a 2 conditions. One is the heart attack. Heart attack happens when you have an artery blockage, and it blocks the artery, so blood cannot flow, heart cannot get. That's the heart attack. Cardiac arrest can happen to any one of us in this room who are absolutely healthy. What is that? Our heart pumps 72 times per minute. As you sleep, it slows down. You exercise, it do faster. So heart is like this. It dilates, the blood comes in, squeeze, pump, the blood flow. So it is happening in a very synchronized manner in 72 times. So the whole blood is going. Now it becomes 80, 90, 100, 150. So now 150, 160 is so fast that even when they dilate and shrink again, squeeze again, it's not enough time to blood fill. So basically heart is pumping, but blood is stopped circulating. That's called the cardiac arrest. And it's very common. What is the heart palpitation? Sometimes you say, oh, I'm like feeling like heart palpitation. If these days we have like a lot of things to monitor our heart, you see that your heart is beating 120, 130 very fast. It means like you can feel it, like boom, 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 boom. But during that time, because the blood is not circulating properly, you started feeling dizzy, you started feeling a lot of things happen in the body, right? And that's sometimes faint, sometimes other things happen. So don't take this if sometime you have it's called the irregular heart disease. So even the slightly palpitation or fear or stress, check it. You just need to put heart. And if you have a little bit doubt that it is there, there's a lot of solutions like for that, right? So these are the things I gave today, a tip like to kind of like monitor your health, monitor your habit, so you can save like all this major organ of your body, brain being a most important one, right? Today, I cannot talk into detail, but yes, I will say that sometime we will organize a seminar very focused on solution, because it takes a lot. If I explain you so much to understand the problem, solution cannot be in 2 lines.
That's right, exactly.
Right? So you have to understand the solution equally very well. But the bottom line I can say for the solution is you need to watch your daily habit. So when we say lifestyle, what are you addicted to? What you are eating? Okay? And where you are staying? What is your surrounding? Because you are inhaling a lot of like gases which you don't know. Okay, so these 3 things basically decide your day to day. A lot of people have complained, I'm not getting well. I try this medicine, I try that medicine. So very simple answer is, if they are not getting well, it means like they have all this problem, what I said, together. So it takes a little bit longer time, you need a dedication. You have to commit yourself to that. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. When, Parkinson's control. Curing is difficult, I know, but controlling.
Controlling in Parkinson, what happened like vitamin B complex, heavy dose. Okay, I will ask Veena to explain to you like a little bit more on a nutritional side on that, because there's certain kind of like what we call the brain vitamins. So you inject your brain with like, so even if you go to the hospital, mostly like, see, whenever you have some brain related problem, the secret is most of the doctors prescribe vitamin 5 or vitamin B5 and B6. So vitamin B complex is a magic vitamin which deal with the brain. But with that, you need to train your brain that shifting. So suppose this hand is there, means this part of the brain is giving the instruction, right? So there is a process like what we say, like train your brain. You shift all the process from this side to that side. So suddenly like this brain is not using. So you start using this brain. So then suddenly that instruction which is coming from this brain will reduce. So that's a kind of a technique we explain. So there's a lot of way to, we call mitigate and manage the Parkinson. Okay. But you need a family help for that. It's very difficult to do by alone. So yeah, you need some people to do that. Yeah, I don't mind to help like and explain you later like on
Any more questions before we?
So this is the thing, like we are living in a toxic world. So that's the one thing. Like what is the other thing we don't notice, that it's for the indoor air quality. So whatever your office, your home, it looks to you very normal because you can't see many things. But this home and offices are infected with a lot of fungus, a lot of bacteria. They release a lot of like toxins all the time. So basically, your exposure to this kind of toxin through inhalation is very high because it takes 5-10 years. So what happened, like when a lot of toxins are going inside a body, very simple. So immune system is not resting. It's always on a work, right? Sometimes what happens, even the things are get corrected, immune system keep working, right? So it's same thing like that. It's a wheel, right? So we remove the wheel, move the wheel like that, and then leave it. And if there is a very smooth kind of thing, the wheel keeps removing like that. That's exactly happens with the toxic this immune system. That the immune system learn wow, there's a lot of bad stuff is always coming in. Then they learn that, oh, I don't have to stop. Like I have no chance to rest. I keep working. So even though the problem is solved, they keep working. That's called the autoimmune response.
Doctor, arthritis is an autoimmune
Okay.
disease.
Very interesting question. So always remember that anything which has ITS, so arthritis, meningitis, hepatitis, bronchitis, these are all inflammation. So the inflammation is defined by ITS at the end, right? No, yeah, tinnitus, like so that's like it's ear infection. So ITS, ear has a very easy to get inflammation. Yeah, it's very common. Like there's a tinnitus is there. Some people have like it's called like floaters in front of the eye. You can see something like that. Very common things. So nothing to worry about it. That's what it's saying. Like accept it. It happened. But learn to mitigate, basically. You know. So the main thing is.
Even the arthritis conditions can be
Yes, can be. Yeah, but like you need to supplement with the nutrition. Like the calcium is very important. So is a chronic inflammation of the bone that's the arthritis. Okay. So because it's not getting enough calcium, and it's the calcium is like leaching out faster, and then the bone density is losing. So there's another thing. Any person, because arthritis is very bad, especially with some people. So if any person has a arthritis, they should do the bone density test, because that's the only way to manage. Yes, sir.
I have pain problem, on and off. It's almost every day since last 1.5 years. So I should I can say not like I can.
Yeah.
There's not pain here, too much pain. But I just take a hot breathing tablet. This has to be very good. Immediately, the consuming my pain goes away.
What is?
The doctor said, don't take this one. This is for the heart. But this has to be good. And doctor has given me many medicine.
What is the medicine?
I said,
Sir, you should not. You
I'm
can.
taking almost 7-8 tablets every day.
I don't want to scare. You can die on the spot.
Since 1.5 years.
It's one chance. This is a SOS medicine.
Yes.
When people get a heart attack and they have to reach to the hospital in the last stage, the gap, this is the medicine given. I don't know how you managed to acquire this medicine in your hand.
Pain all the time.
No. So without, okay, you should do the heart scanning. No, you did? No blockage?
Blockage different than I'm staying.
Oh, so you have a 9 stent already. So tell me that. Okay.
No, I don't have any heart problem.
No, that's see, you have a 9 stent means you have a heart problem,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Lots, see, but here, this not doctor said this is not heart. They cannot solve my problem. Only this is healthy. They give me many painkiller medicine.
So you are see, like I turn here. Okay, so it's a pain here. Do you know where we pacemaker is never put this side? Pacemaker is put this side, right? So the things of the heart is everywhere. You feel pain over here. 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 That's where many people confuse. Heart attack means our heart means not only this. Even if you have a pain here, here, and all, and this with the 9 stent, okay. So what you need to do, because okay, this dilate is an emergency medicine. It dilate your blood vessel. So if you have a heart condition, it works for the heart, right? Because it supplies the blood. But imagine that during that time period, at night, your blood pressure is like normal. So in one go, because it dilates, your blood pressure can go down and it can collapse. That's the hindsight of it. That is why this is always taken under the medical prescription. And this medicine are never to take, like you have to take under the tongue, right? So this is a very specially designed medicine. When you are confirmed, you have angina, right? So the hindsight is risk like unless you are confirmed. So you have again dopamine things. So the negative of dopamine is fear. Because you have a stent, you develop a fear. So anything happen, your brain immediately go there, and you became dependent on this. Okay. So instead of this, I tell you something. You must be taking, if you have a 9 stent, you must be taking aspirin. That's it. Carry aspirin with you. Carry aspirin instead of this.
Once a day I take in the morning, but this helps me very good.
No, it says when you are feeling the pain,
Yeah, but
they want you to take aspirin.
This is not a This is not a medicine. This is not This is not a medicine. This is not a medicine. This is an emergency drug. When you are getting the heart attack, right? So if you are not getting a heart attack, you don't need to take this.
He's taking every day almost 7, 8.
Now it's
7, 8.
7, 8 per day. 10
per day.
per day.
No. Sir, something. Thank you very much for coming over here. Stop it immediately. You are psychologically feared. Okay, so I will advise you, just go to the Baptist hospital or any hospital wherever you go. Do it's called CT angiography. No. When you done last?
About 3 months.
Okay. What it shows in CT
They
angiography?
say the blood flow is very poor. That's all. They say your heart is working very good. No problem.
No, okay. So you have to listen to me. That's what happened with the doctors. The patient tell them and they put the word. It's just like a journalist, right? So we make it like the things more lighter so you can understand. Don't put your word on my mouth. Listen to me what I'm saying. It will help you. So what you are saying, it's your perception. You develop this, right? In the medical, very simple. You do the CT angiography, and CT angiography will tell you all your 3 veins, major veins, how much percentage blockage it has. That's the information you need to know. You need to talk in a mathematical language, right? Whether you have minor blockage, which is up to 30% in Hong Kong standard, minor to moderate is 30 to 50%, moderate to severe, 51 to 75%, and 75% on or 70% on, then you should not be standing over here. You should run to the hospital, right? Because that's where the chance of getting it. This is the first information you should be getting from them. Then what is my percentage? Okay, so that's your question to ask the doctor. Once you get the percentage, then only they can tell you, or even they don't need to tell you. You can decide yourself whether the circulation is poor or not, right? So if the circulation is poor, then that is why the aspirin is, because aspirin do the blood thinner work. Okay, so your blood is thick. How much? You're taking 75 milligram or 100 milligram of aspirin? 100 milligram, right? So maybe when you get a pain, you try this. This do the pain relief, no doubt about it. Yeah, but your solution is not a pain relief. Your solution is, no, you have a problem now. You have a 9 stent.
Immediately relax.
The question is not that
Doctor
like,
had given me some other medicine, many painkiller medicine. Doesn't help at all.
no. I understand. My message is, this is not a painkiller. But you can die, sir. You can die. I'm very blunt. You can die because thousands of people die from this medicine. The reason I'm explaining you technically, how? This medicine role is your blood is like this, right? And it make it thick, so the blood can flow very easily. But it doesn't do in heart. It doesn't. It do all in your body. Suppose you are somewhere on the street, right? You get that. You did that. Your heart may get relaxed, but then your brain vessel got exactly. You see, you're confirming your thing. So your blood is not reaching to brain. So okay, you solve your heart, but the brain vessel becomes so dilated. If you don't get a blood at least for a 30 second or 1 minute, you are spot unconscious there. You see, that's what the people do mistakes in their life. No, it's okay. I understand your cause.
2018 month of June. Continue. 2 years.
Okay, I can fix you. Like, see, today whatever I told you, okay, we touch the heart kind of things. You have a irregular heartbeat problem. Okay, it's not a blood flow problem. So you have a no. You cannot find out with the CT scan blood flow problem. No way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We know. See, CT is which hospital?
My case was with them. Who's your doctor?
But sir, don't do it. I'm just like suggesting you very sincerely. This is a SOS medicine. It dilates your blood vessel all around your body. Okay, and the problem here is it dilates your blood vessel in the brain. So your heart, when it is a problem, your heart can get muscle. Means like the blood, right? But if the heart is not pumping properly, during that particular short time period, 30 seconds, if your brain doesn't get the blood, your brain will die. That's what you have to understand. It's all things related. So that is why I see side effect is what? This is good for your heart. It's a life-saving medicine, right? But the side effect is it can do the brain hemorrhage.
And anyone survive?
Damage. But no.
He says
Every 25 days I open the bottle.
7 nights a day.
But he gave me always more water. He gives.
Yeah.
He gives.
Welcome.
Who is your doctor?
How much you are paying?
Doctor.
How much you paying? I come to the right. Like, see the whole medical thing. How much you are paying?
Just like free.
It's giving you free?
Yeah, free. Yeah, sometimes I ask them 10 bottles, they give me 10 bottles.
Is it a public hospital?
With this government hospital, all
It's
the
government
medication is
No, that is there. But this medical like is only given to the people who has a high chance of dying by heart attack.
Yeah, my
It's
mom
not
has
given
it.
to anyone.
My mom has it for emergency.
I go every 3-4 months, they give me 3-4 bottles.
No, that is there. But once you open it, it's only stay for 2 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, it's open, it's only stay for 2 months.
Yeah.
But it is strictly restricted because see what happens. Next time you do the different process, you may like spend 6 hours. I think it's better for you to spend 6 hours. When you have a pain, you don't do it, you run to the emergency instead of taking this. No, do it. Listen,
You know what they say, this is your doctor handling this better in Grantham. They say this is not a heart problem. You had this different, and they are mentioned in the, you read in the computer, this is a blood flow problem.
Okay, Gary, now he's telling you.
No.
Something.
Yeah.
So they say it's a blood flow problem,
Yeah.
and they don't attend.
No, they don't know. They say, okay, you can go home.
We do free.
Okay. Okay. So I'm telling you the trick. Next time they are not going to send you back. You know why you are saying that? Because you are saying I have a pain here, right? So if this is a pain here, they are not going to treat you. Okay, so you have to say I have a pain here. The one simple language will admit you there only. And what they are going to do, it's called the enzyme test. This you need to do for your mental peace. If anything wrong with that kind of system, because this is a heart SOS medicine, this is not for like other blood kind of things, right? It's a heart medicine. So if you have an enzyme, then you will completely know like, oh, you have a heart problem issue. Then take a better advice, they will direct you. But if the enzyme test come negative, right, you should not take this. And now let me do, I'm not a fortune teller, let me do the forecasting. If you follow the process, I can guarantee you there is no enzyme will come. Try it. Because see, when we have science available, use the science now. Why we are just talking? We have a facility, we just have to spend 6 hours only in the hospital. Because the test he has done. Pardon? No, see, this kind of appointments in Hong Kong doesn't work. What we call it's a filler appointment. You will go, doctor will feed something there, and then if it will be 3 months medicine, and then you come back again after 3 months or 6 months like that. That's not useful. What is useful is because you are saying you are taking so many of them. I'm really surprised. I never heard this, very honestly. Anyone. Okay, and it is a SOS. So I'm giving you the solution. If it is a flow problem, what you say is step 1. Step 1 is increase the dose of aspirin. So any good doctor, so this see, that's why we say good doctor and bad doctor. Good doctor will analyze. He will do the sonography of this particular place. Okay, so not a CAT scanning, sonography. So have you done the sonography here? No, sonography. Sonography. You check. Because sonography is to find out whether there is because blockage can be anywhere.
The pain start here, 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 too much pain. And then here, I don't take this tablet, spread it all over. This arm, here, here.
That's a nerve pain, sir. You have a spondylitis. Check it for spondylitis. No. You check for spondylitis, sir. You know, your bone has a problem.
Bone has.
Yeah. Because you see, like, we deal with these people every day, like we know hundreds and thousands of people. So sometimes what happens, because the things you're explaining to me, it's a nerve pain. It's not about blood pain, because you are giving the certain kind of things coming like that, spreading, right? Both sides. You know what happened? Right? This is a responding to the things. The brain nerves going down. It hit this here. When the nerve press, the severe pain shoot up over here. Exactly, that's what you're telling me. Then it shoot over here, right? So basically,
They have put the 9 stent. I complained that I have pain right inside. I never told them I have pain here. But still, they put the 9 stent. Recently, for 4 months back, they again asked me. They say again, better put maybe 2 more stents on the left knee. I say no, I don't want to put any more stents. I don't have it.
so with due respect to you, I don't believe this. I like 9 stent is a open heart surgery.
Exactly.
No, this is like it's not about like you have a certain like misinformation. If you are a 9 stent, you don't have a 9 stent. Otherwise, you would have gone through the open heart surgery. There's no medical protocol. There's no medical protocol. You must have like 4 or 5 stent at the most 6. No, I don't. You bet with me right now. You go to your doctor and ask like it's 9 or what, and you will not find 9. It's a medical protocol. If you have more than 6, they will do the open heart surgery. Because the heart cannot sustain 9 stent. We have our capacity, right? So it can only sustain 6, not more than 6. Okay, solution very simple. Do you go very often to India? You don't go. Go to Thailand then.
Thailand has been.
Thailand I've done in over there in Sukhmatu hospital.
Now think it like bring the report, show to me. I will explain to you.
Okay.
No more questions, then Susan would like to.
Sure.
What are next?
Sanjay.
Go ahead.
A wonderful evening and afternoon, very knowledgeable. I'd like to thank Dr. Sanjay Nagarkar. Always I've attended a lot of classes and it has been very, very knowledgeable. Every time I learn something new
Helpful.
and it has been very, very helpful. Unfortunately, I have not been attending all of them.
Okay.
And I know I have lost a lot of knowledge. Today's session was amazing.
Amazing.
I'm quite sure we have all have learned something, and it is very helpful, very kind of you to spend so much time with us and explain us in such a simple way. Really, any doctor would not spend that much time with us and explain it so well. We know very technically, and like he says, even he has a problem, but his problem is his doctor is not taking care of it. And really, Gary, you're a good friend. I really recommend you. Please bring your reports. See Dr. Sanjay. And I am quite sure you'll feel much better because what he's saying is not because of professional interest.
Yeah.
He is doing it just because of passion. The time he spends over here is only because of passion. We can